but it's always difficult to get your first win in Formula 1. And Hector Gonzalez will know. He keeps it steady, he keeps it calm. He comes round the final corner. A special moment for all those at Ravenwest. Hector Gonzalez is a race winner for them.
Hector, that was incredible. What a drive, mate. Unbelievable. First win for the team. Going down in history, man.
Whoa! Whoa, nice! Oh man, I never had so much adrenaline.
Hector Gonzalez celebrating a winner for Ravenwest. What a fantastic moment for the team. Well, there is Gonzalez. Have we got a new Spanish superstar in Formula 1? Max Verstappen covering him in champagne.
Fantastic. You've got pole.
Well, hello and welcome to the Spa-Francorchamps circuit here in Belgium for the round 11 of the Formula 1 Championships. And what a race we have in prospect for you today. It's good weather for racing here in Spa. It's not too warm, the clouds are covered. There may be a hint of moisture on this track. 4.3 miles and 19 turns. It's one of the longest, also one of the oldest, and one of the favourites among the drivers. It's a Grand Prix circuit that always delivers, with a wonderful climb flat out through Eau Rouge, up through the Kimmel Straight, down through Le Combe, and then as always Blanchimont, which is pretty much flat out. It's a circuit which always delivers exciting Grand Prix racing, and we had a fantastic qualifying session. If you missed it yesterday, then you missed out on a wonderful pole lap performed by Hector Gonzalez in the Ravenwest. Beat Lewis Hamilton to win a 10th, as Lewis Hamilton looks to try and make up the gap on his teammate Valtteri Bottas. But we know the back end of the season is Lewis Hamilton territory. That's when he produces his best. So for this Belgium Grand Prix, Hector Gonzalez takes pole for Ravenwest, 1/10 of a second in an absolutely perfect lap. Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel, both Ferraris, on the second row for this race. Bottas is on the third row and fifth. Carlos Sainz is 8th in the McLaren. The Racing Point of Sergio Perez is 10th, and Ricciardo in the Renault is down at 11th, but he does beat both their teammates of Stroll 13th, Esteban Ocon 14th. Lando Norris as well to get 15th in the McLaren. Mick Schumacher in the Ravenwest is 19th ahead of Kevin Magnussen. George Russell and Nicholas Latifi bring up the rear, and we'll have the race right after this break.
It's in! And we've got Buffy the winner!
So when the 5 lights go out, we will be racing. It is Gonzalez on the left, Hamilton on the right. Go, 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 go. The start is very good. Has to be said from the Ravenwest. Lewis Hamilton's making a first time for into the chicane. A brilliant start, and Hamilton's having a look up the inside. Did he catch Gonzalez, who's got a bit of a tank slapper? They come down and make their way through to Rouge and Rallye. Oh, what a start this is. Lewis Hamilton's already got Charles Leclerc sitting right behind him, and Sebastian Vettel also. So Ravenwest, Mercedes, Ferrari. And there is also, now we're on board at the moment. You can look at the way the tyre is dragging down. This is a big moment in the contest. Is Lewis Hamilton, they're going to have a look and get through as they break through Leclerc for the first time. Hamilton goes right at Cumbering, and Charles Leclerc is staying right behind, right on his gearbox. This race is going right to the wire as they now break their way down up to the Rivage, the short right-hander, 140 kilometers an hour, 4th gear these cars will do, and then they're off into turn 9. It's a left-hander before they go through turns 11, 10 and 11. The pole on, Charles Leclerc at the moment in 3rd place, chasing the Lewis Hamilton car that is producing sparks upon sparks, and we've had sparks upon sparks of excitement. The low setup both these cars are running as they look for the huge amount of speed through 12 and 13 through Fangs, and then they will go through Stabilo turns 14 and 15. This is what they're breaking through now. Wonderful start, it has to be said, by the Ravenwest. Lewis Hamilton just been able then to get ahead, and then it's a long climb downhill which they will then make, and then they will make their way through Blanchimont, and Blanchimont is flat out as we're watching Bottas try to make his move, and he's sitting right behind the gearbox before they brake really heavily into the bus stop. This will be the place where most of the cars today, when DRS opens up, will find the opportunity to pass Alex Albon ahead of Valtteri Bottas, and Max Verstappen behind him. Lando Norris doing well. So here we go. Gonzalez leads Hamilton 2nd, Ferrari's 3rd and 4th, Alex Albon is 5th, and Bottas is 6th. Sebastian Vettel has 7th, Carlos Sainz is 8th, Pierre Gasly and Daniel Kvyat, the AlphaTauris are 9th and 10th, making an excellent start. Here is the race leader at the moment, having a fantastic Grand Prix at the moment. He's sat pole. He's been able to beat Lewis Hamilton off the line as they get through the very first hairpin into the lead. And since then, he has been dominating the race ever since. And now, we will watch and we will wait and we will see what happens. Hamilton at the moment knows that he needs points ahead of his teammates to continue for the championship. For Hector Gonzalez, what a moment it has been for him. Race win for his side, and that Ravenwest is improving every single race that it's in. That Mercedes, on the other hand, is doing what it can, but Charles Leclerc is absolutely flying right behind the Englishman. Remember, Lewis Hamilton aiming to equal Michael Schumacher's all-time record of 7 World Championships this season. It's a case of can Lewis get it and get it done. It's all set up and waiting, and Lewis knows that he has got a Ravenwest ahead of him, so we'll wait and see what strategy this team's employ. Sector 1, the Ferrari is quicker than that Mercedes, but the Mercedes is pulling away through the 3rd sector as they then make their way through Blanchimont and then they will come around Blanchimont, which they're doing now, and then they will brake hard as they come into the bus stop chicane. And at the moment, Charles Leclerc is having a look and having a sniff round to the gearbox and having a look round the outside of Alex Albon. It is Valtteri Bottas, goes side by side. Does he close the door? Alex Albon, he's unable to. That's fantastic driving by Valtteri Bottas, but will he have the right drive in the line heading into the first turn? Side by side that they need. Is Alex Albon been able to retake the position? He has. Is he going to squeeze Bottas out? He does his best, but Bottas is staying with him. Could these two be heading side by side through Blanchimont? Oh, it would be astonishing if that's the case. Stu's got the bigger bottle. Oh, absolutely magnificent, and it gets through just barely as they climb up to the Kimmel Straight. And now's a chance for Charles Leclerc on DRS to pass Lewis Hamilton, and DRS is opening up now for Verstappen. And oh, this is absolutely astonishing. And with that, Max Verstappen has got past Alex Albon. Well, let's have a look at a replay of what happened. This is Valtteri Bottas. To the right you can see that's Alex Albon in the Red Bull. Look at the speedometer, they're doing 8th gear, no yielding at all, slight lift off, is able to sit and gain it. That's such brave driving. Here is a view at the moment from Max Verstappen, who was able to gain position over his teammate. The DRS, he's got the drag as they make their way up the Kimmel Straight into turn 5 Lacombe. He's got the inside line. He's able to give his teammate just enough room, but he's come through turn 6 and 7 and has got through. So Charles Leclerc now has been charged with the task to chase down the Ravenwest, who is improving every single race and is getting faster and faster and faster. And there could be an opportunity very much today for Ferrari to challenge. But the Ravenwest, when they do have the lead, well, they do have the lead very comfortably. A question we'd have to see today is just how comfortably can they retain this. Charles Leclerc, of course, really bright future in Formula 1 motorsport racing. Real eye for it. And we shall wait to see what happens with this season. Will Ferrari retain the services of Charles Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel? Well, Vettel here is gaining on Lewis Hamilton, and we know Sebastian Vettel does like this circuit at all. It's one of his favourites. Could this be an opportunity? Of course, the lap record is held by Valtteri Bottas. A 1 minute 46.286. There's half a chance of that being achieved today. Weather is just about perfect. Just what you want from a good motor race. So could there be the opportunity? Hamilton's been able to pull out probably half a second or so on Sebastian Vettel as they went through Eau Rouge, shoved through Radion, and then up to the Kimmel Straight before they will break into Lecombe. And Lecombe is turn 5, 6 and 7. So this is Sebastian Vettel in 4th place. That's Lewis Hamilton ahead of him in 3rd place. Gearbox behind him. Behind him is Valtteri Bottas, and this is good for Bottas because as long as the distance isn't too far, Bottas will know that he will continue to lead the World Championship. What happens today? The challenge will be, as this race develops at the moment and as time goes on, can Bottas win the championship sitting second to Lewis Hamilton? This is race 11. Race 12 is Monza, a 16-race season. We're starting to get towards the business end of it, and it's 4 races plus this to affect it. But as I've said once, I've said 1,000 times, catching somebody is one thing, overtaking them is completely a different story. And at the moment, thanks to DRS, that Mercedes is pulling away of Sebastian Vettel and is gaining on Charles Leclerc, and Lewis Hamilton goes purple in sector 2. So Hamilton's on a real charge at the moment as he looks to try and bring up the gap, and now he'll make his way through to the bus stop. This is Hector Gonzalez, who has led from the start, pulled away, has got his lead, is maintaining it. And the Ravenwest at the moment is doing fantastically well. And we're nearly halfway through a race which is absolutely flown by. Yes, time flies when you are having fun, and I'm sure everybody here today at Spa is having more fun than they know what to do, with everybody in the grandstands watching the cars fly past, and they make their way through 180 miles an hour they'll be doing with Eau Rouge. Kiss of the apex through turns 2, 3, and then out through turns 4 for Radion, and then they will jink slightly right, climb up the Kimmel Straight, which the cars themselves will be doing just above 200 miles an hour. They'll brake all the way down to there, to about 140 through Lecombe, turns 4, 5, and 6. Cars fly again, then they'll speed up again as they make their way down to the reverse turn. Just short then of 170 mile an hour. Sharp turn right and then a sharp turn left. Overtaking opportunity, this is through turn 9. Then they will speed up again after a little kink in the circuit through to turn 10. 290 kilometers an hour they will be doing through turns 11 on as they will go. Then it's back down to the straight, and then they will have turns 12, 13 to negotiate again. A right-hander and then a left-hander coming up, joins up. It has shades of the old circuit, this one. Then they will break their way through again. A sharp turn to break again through Stavolo. 14 and 15 combining all together here through turn 15, and then it's a climb downhill as fast as you can get it and get yourself set up for Blanchimont. It'll be a kick to the left, but the way these cars are doing it, they can do it flat out, and nobody is lifting off right the way through flat out. Hamilton's been able to gain real time. They will brake hard as they break into the bus stop chicane and into the pits. So pit stops being made. Charles Leclerc followed by Lewis Hamilton. This could be interesting. There's no traffic behind them, so this is going to be purely a test at the moment of how quick the pit stops are. Hamilton's tyres are on, both going for medium. It looks like that's a really good stop by Charles Leclerc. Traffic looks to have hurt Lewis Hamilton, who's pulled out behind a Mercedes, and that's worked out fantastically for Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc has probably bought himself 2 seconds in that pit stop. Really, really good work by the Ferrari time to time that in, and he's already going side to side with Mick Schumacher at the moment, and side by side with Blanchimont. I'd be careful with cold tyres, whether you want to risk that, or when Schumacher is on the softs, on the medium compound, that could always be the risk. Well, there is a risk at the moment, a rumour that has been mentioned, potentially these V6 hybrids could be on the way out. Could we have the glory days of the V8s and the V10s? Well, we shall have to wait and see, but there is talk of this taking place. And here is a man who's very much the talk of the town. He's leading the World Championship. Valtteri Bottas in the Mercedes. A job to be done here for Charles Leclerc, who's coming up to back Marcus. That's one of the Haas's. And sitting right behind is Leclerc, who's got much more power, much more grip, much more downforce on that Ferrari. The question is, can he find the opportunity to pass? Obviously, they are racing for track position, so there will be no blue flags, and that can't be the case. And I just seen Charles Leclerc just lifted ever so slightly, just to get out of some of the dirty air. And now he will make his opportunity to pass. A very brave move through Blanchimont, a very brave move all the way through Blanchimont to do something like that. And well, that's a very brave move. Roman Grosjean hanging on. So Mick Schumacher, Hector Gonzalez into the pits. The race leader has pitted. There is no traffic ahead of him. There is now, because one of the racing points that may not be a racing point this season. We understand that there has been a deal for Aston Martin to return as a sort of principal ownership, so the team principals will be Racing Point and Lance Stroll will move over, and that will become Aston Martin rather than Racing Point. So one wonders, will they keep the pink or British Racing Game for Aston Martin? Of course, British Racing Game was called that because when a British car entered a Formula 1 Motor Race Grand Prix, they were green regardless, before the days of sponsorship. Of course, all the Italian cars were red, so Alfa Romeo and Ferrari have kept it. Mercedes was silver, all the German cars were silver, so that's why they've kept the silver from, and ever since that time has gone. Ferrari, of course, have continued to adopt red as their principal colour for all their cars since, and all their motor cars, and when Mercedes returns as the silver hours, they returned it because of that. Of course, if you are looking at the golden age of racing liveries, look no further in the late 1980s. Of course, we can't have a tobacco sponsorship anymore, but the McLaren, the Williams, the Benetton, all iconic looking cars at the time. Don't forget the Tyrrells also. Still, speaking of nostalgia, that was then, this is now, and this is turning out to be an exciting race as Lewis Hamilton is currently sitting right behind Valtteri Bottas. So this is for track position at the moment. Kevin Magnussen is sitting behind. Hamilton's been able to get past Bottas quite brilliantly, and now it'll be a drive with nothing more than pure power. Both have DRS open, and I think Bottas has been able to get the power just fractionally early. Will there be a chance on the switchback? Hamilton deciding to go wide in that. Sebastian Vettel also coming out to join the party, and he will come down right the way through Blanchimont. Bottas leads. Hamilton is second. Max Verstappen is coming through also. So Bottas is third, Hamilton fourth, Verstappen fifth, Vettel is sixth, Gonzalez still leads, Charles Leclerc is second, and now Lewis Hamilton knows he's got to get past his teammate. He's unable to do so because coming through the outside is Verstappen, and that is fantastic at the moment. And Hamilton's done it! Yes! Lewis Hamilton is through, and also there is now a Red Bull between Hamilton and Bottas. Max Verstappen driving his heart off. All these drivers at the moment absolutely going for this. This is astonishing racing we are seeing this afternoon in Spa. Been a favourite of the drivers. It's a personal favourite of a lot of the broadcasters, including myself. As much love as I have for Silverstone, this is one of the iconic tracks. We're moving to another iconic track next. Monza beckons for round 12. My goodness me. Should that be a great opportunity to see some really, really good wheel-to-wheel action in Monza. Can't wait to see these cars flying through the Parabolica in an interesting race. As racing goes today, Hamilton's already been able to make up a bit of a gap at the moment on Max Verstappen, who looks possibly to be holding up Bottas, and Bottas is trying to... oh no, this is Alex Albon at the moment, and my apologies. Well, Bottas still leads, and Verstappen is fourth, Hamilton is fifth, so Bottas third, Bottas third, and Hamilton fifth, and Hamilton knows he's got to get past Verstappen. Pit stops really hurt Lewis Hamilton in this race, and he knows that in order to challenge for the championship, he's got to finish ahead of his teammate. So Max Verstappen at the moment is holding up Lewis Hamilton. It's allowing Valtteri Bottas to pull away. In fact, he's got over a second, and will brake really hard into Leclerc. Has Lewis got enough on him to get past him? Leaves him enough gap, and he's got enough drive, and Hamilton is able to get past. So Hamilton moves up into fourth place, third place ahead of him. Valtteri Bottas, the two championship challengers, going for this. And Hamilton's had rotten luck this season, engine failures and some poor decisions by his team. That Southern World Championship, well, some people thought it would be a formality, but they didn't reckon on Valtteri Bottas, who's raced fantastically this season. Here's another man who's done really, really well, Hector Gonzalez. You can't see him at the moment to pull away from Charles Leclerc, who's driving like anything to get within a second of him. When he does, there will be DRS opening up, and when DRS opens up, there will be the chance for him to really make a go. Of course, a reminder, if you were enjoying what you're watching this evening, and don't forget to leave a like on the video, hit subscribe to the channel. That's the CW Virtual Sports Commentator channel. If you want to, you can follow myself on Twitter, the Trevor Walker, at TrevorSports90. And if you want to follow the owner of this wonderful YouTube series, then you want to go search for @CasualChris on Twitter, and you'll see all this F1 action. Right, the cars are through to the penultimate lap. We have 2 laps left of Spa, and Spa really has delivered today. And so as another driver delivering is Charles Leclerc, who has been able to gain a lot of space, upwards of a second, and they fly up the Kimmel Straight. This is a chance for Charles Leclerc to make a move on Hector Gonzalez. How's your bottle? How's your bottle? Oh, it's magnificent racing from both these drivers, and Gonzalez shows his ability to drive defensively, to maintain positions, and the man many people have said reminds them of Senna, particularly the way in which Senna, particularly in his early days with Lotus, was an inferior car to that of the Williams, who was so dominant at the time, and that of the McLaren. But somehow he managed to get that car to sing and dance and get its way through. The Ferrari is certainly quicker at the moment, and this is where it's all counting. And Charles Leclerc is doing whatever he can to try and find a way through, and they are braking hard to make their way through Stavolo. Turns 14-15, And then when they climb downhill towards Blanchimont, it'll be the bus stop chicane. Now, if Leclerc can stay close enough, when the DRS zones opens up, that'll be his opportunity. Through Blanchimont. Now he's got his opportunity. Goes outside. Tries to go and gain position. Unable to do so. Was there a touch? Doesn't look to be. He probably needed to be on the inside heading into the bus stop to make his way past. Final lap was what has been a fantastic Grand Prix that we have seen today. It's been really, really, really brilliant. Absolutely. Well, the final lap is getting us set at the moment. And Charles Leclerc is right the way through and sitting right on the gearbox at the moment of... This is getting tenser and tenser. Would you believe this? There they go at the Kimmel Straight. Can Gonzalez hang on? It's all on the line. This racing for the lead, wheel by wheel, right the way through. It could be the closest finish as a Grand Prix we've seen since the Dutch Grand Prix of 1985. As looking said that, Bottas is also involved in the race. Charles Leclerc having a look, and Gonzalez is hanging on with everything he's got. Bottas is also involved. Could this be a three-way tie for the race lead? Oh, this is absolutely astonishing. There they go again. Having a moment is Leclerc, who's trying to find his way round the outside. Astonishing. Bottas is also involved in this. Felix as well. There they go, side by side again. Breaking through again. Oh, magnificent. Now's the chance, and now Bottas is also involved. And now he looks to try and make a move as they make their way through Stablo. And Charles Leclerc's found himself in third place. Bottas is second. Gonzalez is hanging on with everything he's got. And Lewis Hamilton's joined the party. This is suddenly turned into four cars racing for the lead in the final lap. Come through Blanchimont, up to the bus stop chicane. The entire race will depend on how brave the drivers are braking. And Bottas tries to make his way through. And there looks to be Charles Leclerc coming through also. And Leclerc looks to have been able to get through. And Gonzalez wins. Leclerc second, Bottas third, Hamilton fourth. And I don't think you will see a tighter finish to a Grand Prix than that. Wow!
Two in a row, guys. Amazing.
I think I'll need to lie down after that one, mate. Amazing doesn't quite cover it. Well done. I'll see you on the podium.
I don't think you're the only one that needs to lie down. The team principal, Chris Whiteman. There you saw the race engineer. Hector Gonzalez, a winner again for Ravenwest Motorsport. Oh, that was just such a thrilling finale to a Grand Prix as I've ever seen. And the 1969 Italian Grand Prix was settled by about a fifth of a tenth of a second between the top five drivers that day. The top four today were about as close as you could ever expect. I tell you what, we call this the Raven of Ravenwest. I tell you what, Ravenwest have risen. They are here. So was Gonzalez, who is a winner again. Well, Valtteri Bottas claimed the fastest lap, so that gives him an extra point. So he will be able to extend his lead of 12 points over that of Lewis Hamilton, who finished fourth. The pit stop in the end really costing him. Charles Leclerc and Bottas and Gonzalez's final sprint in that final lap, my heavens, will go down as perhaps one of the finest ever. But Gonzalez, a credit to him. He led, he got pole, he's had a near perfect weekend, and just as the car started to lose momentum, had to use all his skill to hang on. Max Verstappen is finishing fifth, and Hamilton and Vettel comes in below. Mick Schumacher 19th in the other Ravenwest. It just shows you the quality of the drive that's taken place. No retirements in this race, and this is what it does to the standings in the championship. And dare I say it, Hector Gonzalez can consider himself a challenger. With 4 races to go, 45 points behind that of Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. Bottas at the moment is a race win ahead of Lewis Hamilton. If things stay as they are, Bottas is in command of the championship. Max Verstappen falls back down to 5th, as does Sebastian Vettel in 6th. But if the racing's half as good as that, Monza could be utterly outstanding. Well, from a constructor's standpoint, it's looking more and more dominant for Mercedes. Red Bull Racing remain third, and Ravenwest move up the table. They overtake McLaren to get through to 4th. if they can get their second driver more competitive, they could be challenging for the likes of the big three here in Formula 1. But at the moment, this looks like Mercedes Constructors' Championship to lose. Well, what a race we have seen this afternoon at Spa. It'll go down as one of the finest ever. That final lap, my heavens, I don't think that's ever going to be beaten for the sheer drama that we got from that. Another win for Hector Gonzalez in the Ravenwest. Many congratulations to him, to Nathan McCain and Rick Scott and all at Ravenwest. And from all of us, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again for the Italian Grand Prix. Good night.